Mike, you can ask the first one.
Go ahead, Ben.
All right, cool. Coach talked about this a little bit earlier. Just there's a couple turnovers in the last loss, but you see some good things from your offense.
I did. We moved the ball well. I think our ball distribution is good, where we get a lot of guys involved in the offense, which I think is always a positive thing. We were into the red zone. I think we did a good job in terms of getting personnel groupings on the field, keeping the opponent off balance, and so it's just a matter of finishing out possessions and closing drives. That's really the main issue. I think again, moving the ball down the field, we had some success that way, and I think we can continue to do so.
How about this weekend? Concordia University coming in St. Paul, a team that kind of had a thriller last week. But what do you know about them, and what kind of matchup do you expect?
Well, they're like us right now, where they're coming in, they're 0-2 and we're 0-2, and I'm sure both teams are wanting and really needing a win. And so in that regard, I expect them to come in hungry and motivated and ready to go. So our players need to be ready, our coaches need to be ready. They've added like a variety of pressure schemes and defensively we need to be able to handle. They take a lot of chances defensively and play a lot of zero coverage. So there's no safeties deep, and so they're asking their corners and to play a lot of man coverage. So we need to be able to take advantage of that. Defensively, for us, one of the challenges will just be continuing to maintain like a good substitution pattern, being smooth with everything we're doing that way. We always need to play a lot of guys defensively. So with that, our pursuit needs to be fantastic. We need to play hard and get to the football. When you get to the football, there's no missed tackles and you force turnovers, and so that's the recipe that we want to emphasize each week, and certainly against Concordia is no different.
Tyler, looking at your team defensively last week, a lot of people look and say 38 points, it's a lot of points to give up, but there were some short fields, that sort of thing. All in all, I thought for the most part, defensively, you were pretty sound.
Yeah, they did a lot of good things. We did force some turnovers. We were able to get some pressure on the quarterback, which was good. I mean, so they did a lot of good things. I think as the game wore on, they wore on a little bit, which hurt us late. One thing that we emphasized earlier in the week that we want to see, though, is perform better on third down. In our first two games, I don't think we were very good on third down. We need to be better there. And as I told the defense, if you want to be a great defense, a dominant defense, then you need to get 3 and outs. And so that's something that we've talked about a lot this week, and something we need to do this week for sure.
The turnovers that you gave up, 5 in total, or is that perhaps the biggest thing that you kind of wish you could take back? How do you address that this week in practice ahead of the Concordia game, cutting those turnovers out of your offense?
Yeah, that's a key element. We need to be better that way, without question. As far as how you emphasize that in practice, I mean, it's something that we emphasize every day. It's something that we've emphasized yesterday, and we'll do throughout the week. Our players just need to know, like, there's just times in the game where we don't need to take a chance. We don't need to force anything, and that goes for everybody. And I just think in the game we just pressed a little bit and took chances that we didn't need to, and it cost us. And we do need to eliminate that. A lot of that is just really understanding situational where we're at. Down in distance, field position, everything. If you have a good grasp of where you're at that way, then you know when you should take a chance and when you shouldn't. And so we just need to tie those components together: situational football and when to take chances.
Lucas, how do you feel just progressing more with the ones in practice and having another start under your belt right now?
It's definitely a little more familiar being with the number 1 guys, since I've been mainly with the 2s throughout fall camp. But I don't know, I feel a lot more comfortable now knowing the line, knowing how they work, and knowing the number 1 receivers and just how they do things.
Does it help you having more time to know a week to prepare for a team, whereas 2 weeks ago you kind of were put into a game situation? Now you get more chances to study a little more?
No, not really. As a backup, when I was the backup, I studied as if I was going to play. So now it's just the same routine. It's just instead of me being in the second line, I'm now playing. So same process.
But in what ways was that process different? I remember talking to you about after the Southwest game, and you said, since it was kind of a baptism by fire, you said you didn't really have any nerves. You didn't have a choice to have any nerves. You had to, get right in there and play. in what ways was it different having a full week knowing that you were the starter going in with the mindset knowing all along that you were the number one? Were there any differences there at all?
Other than I don't know. Let me think. Not really. I mean, I just prepared that I'm gonna play every week, and obviously I'm getting more reps in practice now, and I'm getting more familiarity with the number ones, but still the same process of just keep working as if I'm playing.
Are you getting better timing with the receivers too now, do you feel? And
Yeah, I definitely feel that we are clicking more now than we were at week one when I just was thrown in. So
Isaiah, defensively, and Coach Hughes alluded to it, that you guys are doing a lot of nice things, but again, the emphasis has to be get 3 and outs and get off the field.
Right. You know, one thing we've trying to work on is cutting out the little mistakes, the small mental mistakes. You know, that comes with putting more time on our film work, film study throughout the week, and you know, focusing in more during meeting, focusing more during practice, and you know, just trying to give everything we got towards football right now.
how about this weekend with Concordia? Do you feel that this is a team that, you know, you've done some film, you know, watched a little bit, you know a little bit about them, or what to expect from a defensive secondary?
I'd say, yeah. They don't give us really anything we haven't seen. You know, I feel like we can come into this week confident. You know, as long as we practice hard, play hard, do our study, like I said, I think we have a good chance of having a great defensive show out today or this weekend.